So we finally do get underway inside of Border. Into the Middle East we head to. Border, a map which has pretty much seen the rise of play just like it always has been within the past couple of seasons. No real big changes to any of the way it has been played. Sure, new operators get added, but for the most part it is pretty much the exact same attacks and defenses that we see. Now and again, with the new objective parameters as well, we're kind of expecting to see a third bomb site, you know, bathroom tellers in there, customs as well.
I think that's something that's created a little bit of difficulty for a few teams on board. You're exactly right there, Demo. Coming away from, yes, you would expect armour, you would expect ventilation workshop, but after that, where do you go? The common one, I think, at the moment has been the customs pick. Bathroom tellers, really not too popular, particularly with that double external wall facing straight into the teller's bomb site, which can make it very, very difficult to defend. Customs can be defended very, very well from upstairs by opening up strategic holes in CCTV and the hatch, which is something I think, you know, we didn't see Horizon do last time out on this map. They gave up upstairs control too easy, and that did lead to problems for them.
So looking at the ban's guidance, got rid of Ying, a very big operator with a lot of, you know, potential pushing power that really just explosiveness into the bomb site is very, very strong. And then Horizon Blackbeard off the board, an operator that we did see being played last match that Wind and Rain did appreciate having that shield, but no Blackbeard today. And Echo and Mira to round things off to very strong operators for this particular map. I could kind of see teams play around Mirror Windows. I don't think she's that strong on Border because the Mirror Windows, like we talked about in Consulate, are very easy to get rid of.
Yeah, Mirror's major use on this, as we all know, being the double wall on West Balcony that goes into Armoury Lockers. That, in turn, with the Mirror ban, reduces that site to generally a secondary pick behind Ventilation Workshop. But as you say, using those mirror windows effectively elsewhere on the map can be quite difficult, much the same on Consulate. But the ban, not too surprising coming in, because it does have, I think, a larger impact on the Armoury site than it does over the garage site on Consulate. But that being said, the Echo has gone as well. Echo absolutely great for plant denial on this one, and even popping up and down through the hatches. You know, you can even check the top floor above you and see what angles are being peaked and being monitored. So not too much surprise there. The Blackbeard seems quite selective. You know, you've got the AC units window into archive that Blackbeard's commonly used on. I suppose potentially you could have an argument for him being used on the single window into supply for a customs hold. But other than that, again, quite a selective pick, I think.
So it seems to be that players off Horizon are going to start pushing in towards the south side via that valley entrance, and then more than likely, looking at the way they're going to set up, it will be for that double wall that we know is where majority of teams want to push in from. Of course, office is always an option, but the way that they are set up with the majority of them spawning over towards, you know, that southwest area of the map, then yeah, you're kind of seeing your Fur might come in, get the wall open. Do you see Alison that she is going to start opening up in towards those walls? Sophia very good with that, but what a toss from Kendrew, the only Challenge League player we have currently inside of the Premiership, who did get through into the playoffs. So well done to Kendrew. We have to give some credit to that. Him and his, I believe, Polish team, and at the moment his British team and guidance is starting to tear in as Alison will fall. Ryazu, however, on the Lion, which I think we just completely skimmed past that Lion has been let through.
Yeah, I think we did, and already seeing him being used to good effect. I think we're so used to seeing Lion banned out, we almost presume that it's going to happen and then don't necessarily react when it doesn't. But yeah, no surprise to see Lion. I think we're going to see a very high pick rate for him, and Ryazu just using him very well to move in there, pin Kendrew in place and get the kill. So that's going to help them to start gaining some upstairs control, but they still have a problem in the shape of Jaeger, and that sledge nade just being overcooked a little bit there and exploding just before it reached a point where it could do any damage to the Jaeger of Vex. So he's going to hold his position in archives, and right now he is just stalling out this attack because they know they can't focus down for too long, because as soon as they do, Vex is going to pop out, but Shattered manages to react, and that's a great kill from the sledge onto Vex. So that brings us to a 3v versus 3. Valkyrie and Jaeger off the board. Capitao getting his own kill onto Harris down in the waiting area. 3 versus 2 now in favour of Horizon, and this so far is a slightly different Horizon to the one that we are used to seeing.
Could be the power of the Lion that is really pulling them through this matchup. They still have 40 seconds to go. Plenty of time for Shatter to start working on that destructibility factor with the Sledgehammer. However, you do see that Smoke does get spotted out and has to be forced to move from that position. Ryazu knowing that, yeah, this is going to be a good position for me to get into and potentially go for a plant beside B window, the most common plant spot that you see on a ventilation room workshop. And just as we talked about potential plant, he squares his head around and eliminates Ryazu, takes his head out shattered with the Sledgehammer, careful of any potential roam, and it may be lurking, and here's another one for him. 2 versus 1, Mayhems is starting to be gassed alive by those toxic babes, then the shotgun will finish off the round, and Guidance gaming well. It was looking a little bit scary for them in that mid-round, but certainly in the late game they did pull through, and Horizon just falling short.
Yeah, testament there to, you know, the potential of individual skill levels on these teams. Hayes just coming in and doing exactly what his team needed there on the castle. Managed to get 2 kills inside of ventilation. It's a very tight space to operate in, especially with, you know, a gun like the UMP, which has quite a high recoil, but he did very, very well. Got 2 kills, even managed to keep himself hidden inside the doorway. You've got to say that's a little bit of a misplay from Horizon there, but you know, keeping your drones late into the round can be very, very important. It may well be that they didn't have any left available to them, and it just left them in a situation where they didn't have all the information they needed, and it was good night from Hayes.
So that will be the mid-floor locked out for the players of Guidance, so they do opt for that top floor. If they manage to take this, and they will be forced to either bathroom tellers or customs and supply closet again. Looking at those 2 bomb sites specifically, much weaker than the other 2 bomb sites inside of border. Still, all defendable. We know that we've seen teams try sometimes all bomb sites in one split. With the lack of Mira, does affect those bomb sites quite heavily. You know, if you're looking at customs, lack of Mira does make it so you don't have that same kind of top control of security, which is always, you know, the big factor about these bomb sites, is that security and, you know, the office, it needs to be held if you want to make a successful customs and bathroom tellers defense work.
Yeah, I mean, all defenses on this map, give or take, centre around the same 2 or 3 strategies and rooms. You've got to, you know, you've got to hold not so much armoury lockers, but to a degree it can be very powerful against ventilation workshop. But as you say, office and security are almost a must. That being said, sometimes it is possible to take the roamers out of the game by just leaving them upstairs and rushing in through detention, for example, and pushing that bottom floor, clearing and rushing site. But it's not something that you see too often. As it is in this round, we're going to be looking at the armoury lockers location, so you can see we've got all 5 of the defenders upstairs there. Not too much of a surprise. Kendrew just keeping an eye on that powerful east stairs area, something a lot of teams try to take control of first of all, get themselves into east stairs and then use that as a base to build crossfires and to push from there, you know, then as a secondary option moving on to open west balcony wall and push directly into sight from there. We're going to see shots coming in. Razu again, a very good kill from him, taking the head off Kendrew, so that's going to put 5 versus 4, and again it's one of the players with a lot of fragging capability off the team. Raiatsu coming in with a 2nd kill onto Vex, 2 headshots for him. He definitely likes this Lion Vector without a question. Here's coming in and taking out Raiatsu though, so it's now up to the rest of the Horizon boys to start getting some frags of their own, and they can't hide behind that Lion any longer.
Lion off the board, a massive, massive kill for Guidance. The E1D will be nullified. He is still playing aggressive in towards that cover area. Shatter just on the drone, just trying to see what they can find. Again, still very much slow. I said it's going to be slow, but no. Sophia peeks around and eliminates the sister, so a bit of sister rivalry there between both of those operators. So down to Harris and also down to Blackout. Blackout very deadly on the smoke. I know that from past experience, sometimes playing against them. Very, very strong on that particular operator. Harris equally on the Maestro can do some real big damage. Goes to the hot pipe, and oh, Sophia will be there and shuts down the Maestro, down the Blackout. 1 versus 4. We've seen Smoke clutch these positions before, but this will be a very difficult one whenever all the utility will be tossed in, and a couple of Toxic Babes tossed back out, but doesn't manage to land its target in the quick plant, and everybody just scatters from the B bomb site. Blackout trying his best, but really at this stage there's not a lot he can do. See Sophia, tag Sophia, but really any kills coming from this is impactless, but certainly that will not be an impactless kill, as another kill for Alison Tyler. And does send Horizon with a round. Wow, a round for Horizon. This is new territory for them.
I just hope they don't get ahead of themselves, Demo. I just hope they don't get carried away with it and get overexcited. But I have to say, they look like a different team to the one that I've seen in previous weeks so far. Atsu and Allison both getting in, working very well together. 4 kills between them in that round. You know, did an awful lot of work. I think that double kill from Ryatsu early on just really helped to set the stall out. It pinned the defenders back into the Armory Locker and Archives objective. They couldn't really play too much on their own game or anything beyond that point. But again, Horizon didn't get overexcited. They just, you know, steadily and steadily decreased the circle, decreased their area of operation in onto the objective, and just took the chances when they were in front of them. I think, you know, maybe Guidance got a little bit of carried away with that Maestro jump out on Archives, but as we've said earlier in the night, it's one of them that if it works, you're sort of saying, yep, great play, got things moving for his team when it had stalled, but as it happened, it was just a step too far for him. Great reactions from Horizon, and 1-1.
So once again, another top floor defense for Guidance. We'll see if they change anything this time, and at the moment we'll see Kendrew on the dock. This is an operator that he has known to play inside of his operator pool, and certainly an operator that we have seen quite a bit already today, not just Doki playing that consulate, but Kendrew will see what work he can do with the MP5. I'm liking the dock pretty good for this particular bomb site, especially if you're going to try and play heavy in towards that kind of half wall area, which is a very nice position that you can play a defender in. It really shuts down that potential armory plant. If someone does get fragged out or get killed behind that half wall, there's no way on earth that you're ever going to get a revive unless you bring the dock. So really we'll see if that comes into play. That's kind of one theory that you could go for if you want to bring those stim pistols, but 9 times out of 10 the guy just gets killed either way.
Yeah, I think similar to what we saw earlier from Unnamed as well, where we had Madman just struggling to get going. Kendrew again is one of those impact players. He's definitely important to this outfit, and we saw him die out in the last in the first 30 seconds of the last round. And I think they're just, you know, struggling without that sort of that sort of impact leading from the front there. So this could well hinge on just how well Kendrew does in the first couple of minutes of the round this time. I think, you know, no wonder he's taken an ACOG, maybe just trying to slow things down a little bit for himself and just get himself back on an even keel, which certainly won't be any bad thing for Guidance, but I'm sure there's plenty of kills around the rest of the team as well. And we see them defending the office and fountain area very heavily this time, and Smoke on the Blackout just playing behind that half wall as well. In come the flashbangs, so Horizon have recognised that there is a large presence in office, and they're going to be pushing this here. We've got the Thermite just just on his drone, getting into office there and just trying to force people out to allow a little bit of room for his team to operate and start to just gain a little bit of ground in there.
So Guidance set up very aggressively inside of the security, going to try and play as quick as they can on their toes. Just simply this makes Horizon always have to have a bit of fear between them, and look at that, a quick aggressive play from Vex, shuts down that Sophia that caused them so much pain last round, but straight away refrag comes in from Shattered, so that's kind of the crossfire angles that we have talked about that really Horizon need to focus on if they want to win these attacks. Still more roamers over inside off security. He is trying to hold the angle in towards East Stairs, has to be careful he does not get droned, as everybody from Horizon have geared up in towards office, and this is certainly going to be one cluster of a round.
Yep, I think quite easily. Here's getting the kill onto Shattered there. If Guidance recognise this and start pushing Office in numbers, Horizon are going to find themselves very, very quickly in trouble. As you say, this attack quite one-dimensional. They've got somebody out on the AC units of Archives, and then they're trying to push Office as well. Buster on the Thermite, just getting a kill onto Kendrew, so that's going to bring it square now, 3 against 3, with 30 seconds remaining. But Horizon not making too much forward progress here. They've got the wall open, but Smoke on Blackout on Smoke, just using his toxic base, doing exactly what he needs to do, closing down that lane. But it looks like the Thermite of Buster is going to move in. He's going to go for the plant, but he takes an awful lot of damage. I can only assume possibly from a toxic bay. Yes, we can see the yellow smoke there, but Ryatsu just gets that kill onto Blackout. Is that going to free things up? Matum's getting one onto Hayes, so it's now a 1 versus 3 with Harris all the way down in the workshop. He's going to have to move back and retake this site. No mean feat when he is 1 versus 3, and we've got the Lion in place, but I think both the E1Ds have been used. It won't, however, matter as the angle is being watched. He moves in through that rotation, and Matum's tidies things up and takes another round. How about that demo? 2 rounds all Premiership, 2 rounds tonight.
Horizon have now won. Finally, they have won 2 rounds in 1 match. Well done to Horizon. They finally broke their curse. We'll see how long they can really hang on to that. I think I might have swallowed my words with a potential 6-0, but I still have faith in Guidance, and really at the moment, if it wasn't for Lion, I don't know where Horizon would be.
Yeah, completely agree with that. I was just gearing up to say the same thing. I think the Lion coming through this time has certainly helped Horizon. It's just a bit of where I think Horizon have been lacking in gun skill. They've been losing a lot of gunfights in previous weeks, and that's been a large contributing factor to why they've been losing so many rounds. Lion is just the great leveler in those terms, because if you're struggling on the gun skill side, it gives you a nice red outline for you to pre-fire and shoot at without, you know, ever having to see the person. So it does just help potentially teams that are in that situation of maybe being outgunned. So definitely having a large impact here. I think the telling factor here is if Guidance can just keep themselves in touch, get into their attacking phase with Lion in tow, I think we could see a different story.
So it will be that bottom floor of that. Guidance, they have won their round on. It was a very easy defense from them. You know, it did start off pretty rocky. They've lost their room presence very early on, but then again, the Anchors did clutch up whenever they needed it to be. So, we'll see how Horizon can cope with that kind of misstep that they did run into in those final couple of seconds. Still, Horizon, their room clear has been exceptional. For Horizon anyway, I'm quite surprised, but then again, I think it is still just down to that Lion that is just so strong for hunting those roamers and clearing out those rooms, and even for the final push, extremely strong as well. Still, plenty of work to go. This is only going to be 4 rounds in, and still 2-1 all to play for, and again Guidance could easily turn this around and take this half-time into 3 rounds to 2 in favour of them. It's again Siege, anything is possible, but already you can see the start of the phase. It's going to be the first bit of breaching that these players off Horizon are going to try and push in towards Armory. Again, they can bring over Buster to open up that wall, and really for this bomb site you're typically expecting only 1 Thermite charge to be used, and then the other one on the hatch, and that's really all you need. You don't need Habana, so certainly Horizon still plenty of utility to use. They can get the drones in and then finally go for the hunt.
Got some very thorough droning going on there. They will definitely mark Vex inside Armory, but he's got himself in between those lockers, and as you can see, we've got quite a one-dimensional push coming again with 4 Horizon players all pushing that west balcony, but it certainly does the job they need it to. Vex having to jump out of the window to save himself, but he will be downed in the process, and that will allow Horizon to start moving in numbers. We can see shots now coming through the floor, but Harris will manage to use that against them, returning, and Kendrew getting the kill onto Shatter. 1 return from Heisen, bringing us to a 4 versus 3 now. We have to remember in Siege that those peak calls work both ways, and although it is more difficult to fight uphill, Harris shows us exactly how to achieve that, and so far Vex the only one off the board. Harris now being picked up as well, so that will bring him back to 50 HP, and Guidance just wedging themselves in on site. I think Horizon have done exactly as they have done previously, taken control of top floor quite well and cleared the roamers, but let's not forget, it did take a piece of individual skill from the castle last time for Guidance to actually survive and win this site. So are we going to see that same situation again? It certainly seems like they've learnt the lesson and kept themselves more anchored downstairs now with only 45 seconds to go and 4 remaining. But here comes the E1D of Lion, and the push will start to come from behind Bathroom. Sophia moving in, gets the kill onto Blackout, so that will bring us to 3v3, but gets caught in a reload as Harris and Kendrew get 2 kills. That leaves us now in a 2 versus 1 with Ryatsu trading Kendrew back out. It is really all to play for, but we are going to need a 1 versus 2 clutch from Ryatsu, but he's certainly shown that he's got the killing power with the Vector, but not today as Harris steps in and gets that final kill. Harris, once again, the stalwart of Ventilation.
So Guidance, they do bounce back to rounds to 2. Horizon do not get a third round, which if they, they took that third round, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably just melt down into just a pile of water. That's, kind of just breaks the curse I put on them this season. But yeah, 2-2. Will Horizon still continue on and potentially win a couple of rounds, or will Guidance, once they get those attacks, will they be more dominant? You have players there like Kendrew who are so good on that Buck role as an attacker, and we know how good Buck can be for border in general. A lot of destructibility that he can really use and abuse with that skeleton key, and of course frag grenades never hurt. And just like we see Horizon playing Lion, that means Guidance, they also get the Lion, and Horizon then they will start to struggle.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think the Lion is going to be very telling once it gets into the hands of Guidance. Again, yes, with the Buck, especially with a player like Kendrew who's very skilled on the operator. I think more than 90% of the upstairs floor is destructible on border. There's literally just the fountain area, if I'm not mistaken. There is only the fountain room that cannot actually be destroyed. So yeah, there's vertical angles left, right and centre that you can be picking up on border, and I'm sure that's probably something we're going to see. Kendrew coming out this time on the Pulse, and we're going to see another Armoury hold here. So far we have seen 2 wins for Guidance when they've been able to go downstairs onto the Ventilation site, and 2 losses upstairs on the Armoury site. So again, what are they going to do differently? They did show us some adaptation on that last site. The first round that they won it, they did win it, but it was down to a late 2k from Hayes in the Ventilation room, and one of those was a little bit of luck that he managed to hide himself inside the doorway, so it was a little bit touch and go, but they adapted that style in the last round, had 4 on site with 45 seconds to go, holding angles, keeping themselves safe, and that made it very, very difficult for Horizon, even with the upstairs control that they'd gained. Guidance kept themselves out of the known angles very well and kept themselves in safe spaces, making it a little bit of a brick wall for Horizon to try and attack, and that's why we saw so many kills so quickly when they had to do the late round push, and it was all that she wrote.
So an operator that we do see brought to the table is going to be Pulse. We know how good Pulse is. You can really play him very aggressively downstairs with the cardiac scanner. Can really delay the round indefinitely with that C4. Can win you a game or potentially lose you a game if you do miss time that Nitro Cell. Already, Horizon are going to start to open up in towards that west balcony and then in towards Army, try and clear that as quick as they can. Already, Sophia seeing a glimpse of his, but really not too much damage done to him at the moment. So just Horizon, they've got their first bit of beachhead in towards the bomb site, so they're holding their angles, get the drones in, and then inevitably we'll see the utility go in, we'll see the Lion charges go out, and there you go, already the first one's going to go in, and I'm sure utility will follow up after it.
Yeah, getting that west wall open so early in the round is really giving Horizon a lot of options here. They're just burning those ADSs with a couple of the flashbangs going in, but Hayes, meanwhile, will get a headshot onto Shattered, so that takes the sledge off the board. Not going to be too damaging in terms of what they try to do here. I think he'd already got rid of 1 frag grenade, so at a push, they've lost 1, but, the job of opening walls up, etc. is largely done, and it's now time to start thinking about a plant, but Hayes picking up a second kill now, taking the Sophia here, and that could be a much more telling kill, because that takes those lifelines, concussive grenades off the board. The smoke will go down though. Are they going to rush in here and get the plant down? Meanwhile, the Buster moves in and starts just sweeping round behind that half wall. A less common plant spot there, but Hayes manages to find his man, gets in, and that's the 3k for Hayes. That will be 4. Can he get the ace here? I think he knows that the last is out on balcony. He certainly should do now. Mertem's getting the kill onto Vex, and the call out comes. Hayes with the ace, and there we go. Round to Guidance, 3-2.
Well, we talked about Doki-san being a good doc. Well, I think that he has just took that title home with him after that incredible ace from the doc. So Horizon still only on 2 rounds, and now the halftime switch comes in. Butt comes out from Kendry, which he's absolutely terrifying on that Canadian operator, and also Lion to follow up. And this is where I start to fear for Horizon, where things are more than likely going to start to go very, very south.
I think it's fair to say that Hayes probably shouldn't be allowed to get aces anymore, because that is a difficult sentence to say, the old Hayes ace. But yeah, fantastic round again from Guidance. My particular favourite moment of that barrage from Hayes was predicting the plant spot. The Buster had got himself all the way into sight to actually plant near half wall behind the lockers. The more common plant spot being just inside the single door of the west balcony wall. Hayes predicted it even through the smoke. I can only guess it was down to the sound of where the diffuser was, maybe in his right ear instead of his left. So he just managed to nick himself around, get the kill through the smoke, and then use that half wall just to mop up the last 2. And there was definitely, I think, a call out came about Mertem's location after he got the kill onto Vex, just to let Hayes know to keep pestering that west balcony and finish things off for himself. So we now see Horizon moving onto the defence. We're seeing a Valkyrie from Allison and a Mute that we haven't seen so far. So Rayatsu moving on from the Lion play that he's just done for 5 rounds, will come in with a considerably different weapon this time. Let's see if that has any impact on his fragging capability.
So we do see a bathroom tellers for the first time. I think that's the more important factor to put across. Horizon going all out with their defense. So maybe Horizon, they have sat down, they've looked at some of the stuff that they need to work on, and yeah, sure, bathroom tellers, if they master one of these, then that could be a big round for them. And whenever every round really matters for Horizon at the moment, you know, they've already done that. They've already took 2 rounds inside of a matchup. Can they make it free and go on to make Horizon Union history inside of the Premiership? They do have a much more aggressive room game, heavy up top, and again downstairs you can see the Valkyrie lurking inside of the workshop, ready with a C4, being primed and ready to blow onto anybody wanting to push in towards Armory. But quite interestingly, Guidance, they're actually going to opt to blow open the office wall. Bit of a strange one. Typically teams take from Armory and work their way in through that way, but no, office will be the choice that Guidance want to go for.
Yeah, possibly having the Book of Kendrew is going to be a factor there. If they can clear out office and create a safe space in there watching the flanks, Kendrew could potentially have a field day, but we do actually see him downstairs now, so he is not going to be working vertically. But, you know, that is definitely something that they could have taken advantage of upstairs, but I don't think they know that the Castle of Mertem's is still up there in office. They're challenging that triple wall still, but won't actually move in. Perfect timing for the barrier to be destroyed though. Kendrew seeing straight through and getting the kill onto Buster. Is that going to start the attack moving? He does see Rayatsu, but Rayatsu coming out with that cracking gun skill again and gets the kill onto Kendrew. A double for Guidance though will bring it into their favour. 3 versus 2 now. Shattered getting 1 back of his own, and that will leave Jaeger and Mute with it all to do. The diffuser is down and they have to start this retake. However, I don't think Guidance are quite in optimal positions here to defend this. They're all on one side of the map, but it's not going to matter as Harris gets the kill onto Shattered, and Blackout will finish things off. Rayatsu managing to get a consolation kill on his way, but it just won't be enough. Not a bad attempt at Bathroom, if I'm being honest, for Horizon, but they did give themselves an uphill battle to begin.
This is exactly what I kind of pictured to be the story for Horizon. Sure, they done well in the attacks whenever they had the Lion, but whenever you have to play against it is a completely different story. And I kind of believe that Horizon, sure, they got their 2 rounds, but Lion just being too strong of an operator to ever let through. And just because statistically and just mechanically, Guidance are a better team than Horizon, Lion does give you more of a better playing field if you are a weaker side, but then if the stronger side gets Lion, you have no hope of ever winning that matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. It was something that we commented on in the attacking phase of Horizon, and it's no surprise to see it coming out once again with Blackout taking the Lion. I think we're going to see a 100% pick rate in this match, almost certainly. If Guidance can take this next round, it's going to be a huge leap in the direction of winning the match overall, as it will take them to match point, guarantee a draw, and we're going to see them coming out and taking Armory. I might have expected them to head downstairs to Ventilation Workshop in the absence of a mirror, but they've obviously decided that top floor control was maybe too difficult to keep with a downstairs objective, so they're going to try the hand at Armory instead, whereby you can pretty much play everybody upstairs if you wish to, and still have a good chance of holding sight, but it can be helpful to have one roamer maybe downstairs. It might be nice to see Shattered or Allison just heading down that way, knowing that we've got Kendrew, who is likely to play a book and could have a field day if he gets into Ventilation and Workshop unchallenged.
So they do bring, a hefty bit of denial. Of course, Smoke always going to be that #1 picked defensive operator by Horizon to try and stall out the round as much as they can. Of course, Maestro always helps with any potential smoke grenades that do get thrown out. We know that Glaz is an available operator, which is, always a bit of a scary one to let through, but then again, ADSs would put a stop to that. Pretty hefty. Also, Valkyrie is always going to be strong, sure. You could have stopped that in for potentially a pulse, but then again, Valkyrie cameras, you can throw them outside, gain more of that early intel, figure out where that attacking team wants to push in from. So already, Guidance, they may be looking to use and abuse the skeleton key from below. A very common strategy that we see from so many teams is bringing their buck in, getting that vertical control established as much as they can. Again, Kendry doesn't really have to worry about mirror windows, but certainly more of these anchor positions, half wall in beside that A bomb site is really what he needs to pressure.
Yeah, and you can see him just putting those cuck nades up underneath the bomb. He knows that that is a common peak spot, and he's just trying to pick up a cheeky kill from underneath. We saw Vex working in. He's with the book there, so that just stops Kendrew's eyes having to be drawn to those doors, and the same level as him. Vex is there as a bodyguard to Book, just to help cover him. He can also pick up the odd vertical peak if he gets the opportunity, but he's there to keep Kendrew alive. Now the danger is that Buster manages to get the kill onto Vex, so that will leave Kendrew downstairs by himself, but I'm sure the call out will come to say that the kill was from Hatch and not on a level with him. Meanwhile, we're going to see Ryatsu downed and picked back up onto 50 health, having taken some damage. I will presume probably from the book underneath, but meanwhile, we've now had West Balcony open, and this is where things can get particularly dangerous for Horizon. You've got Kendrew operating pretty much freely underneath, and the West Balcony is now open, so the Horizon players are likely to start falling back to sort of default anchor positions to hold their angles, and that is exactly when Kendrew will be able to get underneath them and start working, because he will know all of those spots by memory from where they are in the workshop underneath, and he's going to start opening things up with his skeleton key, I'd imagine, and he could well see a couple of late round kills here. But that said, what a great sort of half wall bang there with Kendrew then finishing things off onto the Buster. So that's exactly what I'm saying. That feedback coming back in, so they have to drop Hatch and start to challenge Kendrew, but Allison will move back upstairs with Ryatsu getting the kill onto Kendrew, and that will clear out the book from underneath, meaning that this is now just a lateral push, but the diffuser will start to go down. Out comes the C4, it will get one, Allison will get another, that leaves us in a 1 versus 4 now, and Harris, he does have the diffuser in hand, he gets 1 kill, but he won't get any more, as Ryatsu moves in and gets yet another round for Horizon, meaning they've won more than they have in the rest of the Premiership now.
I have currently started melting, guys. Currently my body is starting to evaporate. Horizon, somehow, they have won their 3rd round inside 1 matchup. My prediction was not very good tonight. I still expect Guidance to go on and win the game nonetheless, but, good bit of pushback and fight back from Horizon to certainly keep themselves alive as much as they can. Ryazu leading the charge with 10 kills and only 5 deaths, so puts him at 2 KD at the moment. So it will be the ventilation room and workshop, that bottom floor, that the players of Horizon will opt for.
So we're seeing a very similar lineup from Horizon to the one that we saw defending this site for Guidance. We're going to have Mertens bringing the castle, which is pretty much 100% pick, I think, nearly for this site. It's certainly not uncommon by any means, and it just cuts off, again, that progress. Sometimes it depends. Some of the castles can be used upstairs, some of them can be used downstairs. We tend to see more often than not that all three are used downstairs, and I think they can be used very well just to slow down any potential downstairs push. As we mentioned earlier, some people like to just rush in through somewhere like Detention or Tellers and just get straight approach in sight just to cut the roam, just leave the roamers out in the cold essentially by doing so. But the castle can help to just slow that down, and if nothing else, at least burn some resource with Zofia and Ash having to use those chargers to clear out the castles and just free up those lanes to be able to approach that as quickly as they like. Meanwhile, giving those roamers upstairs time to flank and potentially move in and get the kills from behind. But it will all come down to how Guidance choose to attack this site, and with Kendra moving quickly, it looks like we could be seeing a downstairs push possibly.
So definitely we can see the pressure being established in towards that customs area and in towards the waiting room as well. So this is a strategy that we have seen before, where teams, they don't even want to try and attack upstairs. It's just that east side take. They bring the Firma in, they open up the wall, and they simply go for a very quick plant. Nobody inside of bathroom. They bring in the castle, but not playing that extension into bathroom is really going to heavily weaken this Horizon side with still 2 minutes to go. Plenty of prep work ready for Guidance Gaming, but as you can see on the top floor, Horizon, they have a feeling that may be incoming, and they have started to prep to try and defend that A-bomb site.
Yeah, very strange. And the castle obviously affords you the extra couple of reinforcers to go elsewhere. As we can see, there is 2 of the walls into bathroom being left soft, but they haven't put anybody in there to defend it, which is quite baffling, to be honest, because it's just allowed Lion to move straight in there now. There you go, it's been opened straight away, bang, kill onto Buster, and that is all because that wall has been left soft, and it just allowed Zofia to open it up for him from range, and then bang, straight away he was ready to react and get the kill. It also allows them a direct line to move into sight and think about a plant now. So we're 5 versus 4, we've got the Lion of Blackout still working from that bathroom location unchallenged, and we've now got Kendrew on the book just moving in from the supply area. Ratsu getting a kill, again picking up the frags for Horizon, but Kendrew will down Allison and get the kill. So that will leave us now 4 versus 3 with a diffuser plant going down. And now it's all to do for Horizon, but how about that for aggressive play from Ratsu? Manages to get the jump out and run back through Tellers to down a player, but he gets the kill now onto his. Harris, however, returning and trading that straight back out. Shattered with 1 onto Kendrew, so we are now in a 2 versus 1. Diffuser is down. Shattered has it all to do. He's coming off the back of a kill, but he's certainly got an awful lot to do. The pings are coming out quick and heavy, so he knows exactly where these players are. He just needs to move around and try to get a pre-fire, break these up into 2 1v1s, but he's just going to miss the angle as he moves past the doorway, and Vex had just managed to, by that time, get his feet set, get himself on the far side of the bomb, make it difficult for him to be seen, and he gets the kill. Finishes the round out, and that's another one for Guidance.
Guidance just barely seeing that round out. It could have been, very easily into Horizon's favour with a quick couple of kills, but no, just the frags were not there from Horizon, and Guidance, they do secure themselves at least a point inside of this matchup. I'm sure they will be poised and ready to take all 3, as once again it will be the ventilation room and the workshop where Horizon, they want to opt for. They definitely need to be ready for that particular push. If we want to see Guidance go for that, I don't really expect Guidance to go for that same push because they've took Kendra off the buck in this scenario, so they're not going to use that same soft destructible areas to basically jump on in through customs, and then they have that first bit of beach heading in towards the bomb site. So this is more than likely going to be more of a slower paced round.
Yeah, I think they'll probably learn the lesson there, hopefully, Horizon. either way, they either need to reinforce the whole wall between bathroom and site, or they need to have a castle on bathroom to at least slow progress in there. They cannot allow Blackout on that Lion to just run into bathroom, get himself safely behind half wall, and then operate from there with EE1Ds in his pocket as well. Whilst that wall's soft, he doesn't even need it breaching. All he needs to do is pop the EE1D in time with the push so that it's assisting the other operators on his team, and he can just wait. If any fire comes into site and people have to move or adjust their location, Blackout is there then ready primed, and from that location there's not too much cover that's going to stop you hitting people that are highlighted by that EE1D.
So we do see no castle being brought by Horizon. They have decided to forfeit that in favour of Mayhems on that Maestro, so maybe offering that more utility-based operator with those Maestro cameras being able to stop the plant, you know, with a potential tag, and then you can see the Aldo come around with the spray. Of course, C4s are always going to be a big thing for Horizon. I'm quite curious if Ryazu, if he's running barbed wire, if he's running C4, that's, you know, always a bit of an interesting one to see what kind of bandit mains want to run, and it will be the C4, so it does give them an extra nitro cell to try and use and abuse, trying to deny the plant potentially, or could be used as a rotation connector as well. That's one thing teams forget, you can do that with the nitro cell as well.
We've got Sledge then of Harris just working his way inside tellers again, and this could be a similar situation. I believe the soft wall has been left again between bathroom and the site, so if Sledge can get in there, it's going to be easy work for him to open that up and start getting some angles into site. I don't think there's anybody from the Horizon team actually defending bathroom at this point, so we'll see if that happens. And as you can see, Harris just getting in there, I believe, and working through from the bathroom side again, so that soft wall being put to work once again, and we're going to have a death on the Horizon side now, leading us to a 5 versus 4. Smoke is super lit, although Kendrew will be downed and picked back up, so that will put the Lion back onto 50 health, and he will be able to bring to bear any more of those EE1Ds he's got. We get a kill in either direction, shattered onto Kendrew, then being traded out. Harris gets another, so that will leave us now in a 3 versus 2 with Allison picking Harris up with a headshot, and it is still all to play for Horizon, but they certainly have a job to do. Allison just getting themselves now in behind that half wall in bathroom, recognising the danger of the attack coming from the bathroom side. They've not really been able to handle that so far. Ryatsu just up in armory now, all alone. Blackout getting the kill onto Allison. They will start dropping the hatch in numbers, and they're going to be getting themselves down, thinking about a plant, but they won't even need one. Vex comes in, gets the final kill with a headshot onto Ryatsu, and that will be the match for Guidance. But let's not be too critical of Horizon. Definitely some improvement here and something to work for going forward.
So Horizon, they do fall to Guidance Gaming, who do take this victory, putting themselves on 9 points. They are now currently top of the league, but we still have Secret to play yet, so that of course could all change. But nonetheless, Guidance, they pick up yet another win for themselves. Horizon, finally, they get a couple of rounds on the scoreboard. So, yeah, definitely something for Horizon to take away. But either way, still another loss for Horizon. They're going to be joined with Wind and Rain, who both those teams, after 4 weeks, still yet to get a win.
I think that's the problem for Horizon, isn't it? You can look at, yep, they've played much better than they have done previously there. I think, you know, let's not take that away from them. Ryasu come out and had a fantastic game, fragging out for his team. It just wasn't enough. But ultimately, the only thing that matters at the end of the day is points on the board, and they remain on 0, and they're going to be struggling to move off the bottom.
Yeah, always going to be difficult for a team who just hasn't had a run of play, but you know, we had some pretty awesome clips from that. I thought Kendra in his early C4 was pretty strong, a very good, well-placed and timed C4, but really one thing to take away is just the power of Lion.
Yeah, we saw him get through the banning phase, which is quite unusual. And I mean, Horizon built their attack around him. Ryazu was absolutely going off with that Vector and doing really, really well, using the E1D to great effect, and kept his team in it. They came out of that early phase, you know, only 2-3 behind, and it looked like they could push on and really start to get themselves a foothold in the match. I think, you know, we're just seeing it now. Hazer's ace was an absolute dream of a round. round for him. He just seemed to do everything right. His positioning, you know, recognising where players were coming from, just juicing himself up for that final fight. You know, not a step wrong from Hayes on that one.
So Guidance just being the better team on the day. Of course, Kendrew, very big fragger. Big fan of Kendrew, really big fan of him. Cast him in throughout Challenger League as well. He is actually fighting for a chance to potentially be in Pro League next season, so you kind of have to give credit to him as well. But we